Okay, take two, because I accidentally, in my big hand gestures, hit the space bar like a dummy and stopped the recording. Hi, everybody. For those who haven't seen me before on stream, I started face streaming. I am the Regolith. We're gonna probably be splitting things between the VTubing and face persona. Like, for videos and stuff, I'll probably be using my model and my design, but then streaming will probably almost entirely be face streaming because I like being able to connect with you guys like this. Felt like there was literally something between me and the people. It's nice. But I have an announcement before I get too off track. That announcement is going to come in a little bit. To lead into it, I want to talk about what it's been like for me streaming. We're at 2.5 years at this point, and it's been really crazy. This entire process, I've been going headlong into my trauma. That's as hard as it fucking sounds. It just... But it was just as good, right? Like, because I was swimming upstream against it, I made a lot of progress with it as well. So things have changed a lot. And things have changed pretty consistently over the course of streaming. So I've gone through tons of different formats. There was the game redeem. Oh, look, Ireen's up there. Nice. And that was mainly what I was streaming for a while. I tried just doing Dota. I tried just doing other things, focusing on writing streams, all kinds of stuff. I've had some realizations in that time. Most recently, I realized, you can't decide what you're going to create as a creative. If you really want to dedicate into making the best stuff you can, it's not really up to you, right? If you're a pine tree, you can't force yourself to make apple trees without stunting yourself really bad. And that's really hit me lately. I've thought a lot about the writing streams and how they were like peak writing streams and just fit me a lot better. And specific different streams, whether it was Rain World or other things, Champions of Norath. And a lot of realizations like that. And so things have changed a lot. Haven't really built up much audience because, well, I haven't been consistent. There have been several hiatuses throughout the career. I mean, I shouldn't put quotes around it. It's a career. It's only 2.5 years old, but it's the beginning of the career. So each one was important, but this one's gonna be the most important. I think I'm going on a hiatus again. I know, sad, but it's gonna be for a month. We're going on hiatus until July 15th, if I remember correctly. I should probably look that up, but I'm not going to. We're just gonna go. Let's just say July 15th. That's just easy. July 15th. From now until July 15th. I know I haven't been streaming for a while, so it's kind of like announcing it partway into the hiatus, but this is really important. Two things are coming with this. One, new format coming up next. I'm going to be doing streams where it's just like a brick of a stream where I just do one game, we play it out, we have fun, and then I stop streaming for a while and I record a video for it. Now, the video idea I have right now is taking all of the VODs and then making kind of like a stream experience video, like taking the 20 hours of Rain World and making like 5 hours of Rain World experience for like that first Survivor campaign. I have a few ideas on that. We'll see how it goes, but some kind of video for each thing that we stream. There's some occasional intermittent videos in that time, or like intermittent streams and videos and stuff. Maybe like writing streams or like research streams for something. I've had a few thoughts on that. And then the main reason I'm doing this this break, this hiatus, is that I've recently separated from an old mindset. So when I first started streaming, the reason I did it was for productivity, right? It was that cross section of interest, talent, enjoyment. It was something that I could potentially make money at later on down the line, and I was very survival focused. I was just trying to get through it. We were eating hardtack to get through the day and begging, borrowing from everyone we knew. So yeah, that time was tough, and it left quite this wound. And then once I started streaming and talking about my philosophies and figuring those out a little bit more, I realized living for the most best life was much better, and that was really the thing that I wanted to do. And then I realized streaming was the thing. Like, there's a whole like transition, right? Like between now and back then, it's like a pure grayscale. So slowly, Most Best Life started taking over from immediate productivity. And it's really important for a lot of things. Like, it drives me to not stream all the time immediate productivity. So if I'm tired and I'm not going to have like a perfect stream, my brain's like, okay, well, you can do chores when you're tired, so like do that instead, or other things. That mindset is the main reason that I don't create regularly or create the things that I really want to. So the thing I'm doing right now for Most Best Life is making a Magic Cube, which it's a, if you don't know, Magic the Gathering, it's a format called Cube, where you make your own drafting pool. Has nothing to do with productivity. It's just for me, my partner, and our friends to play, and for me to put to bed this game that I really love in a way that like really respects the memory of it. And there's no money involved. There's no money. There's no time and talent and all that. So I decided to do this hiatus to completely separate streaming from productivity, right? So it's just a thing that we are doing that is fun, that is pure expression and art, right? Because that's living the most best life. That is really important for me, living the most best life. Because then I'm not burning out all the time. I'm not having to take hiatuses all the time. You know, we're getting more into it. Everything's better. I get to give a better experience. The community gets to have a better place to be. I'm around more. I've been around more in the server the last couple of days just because, I mean, maybe I don't even know if I sent anything today. It's been a blur. But just because of that swap over, right? And that kind of leads me to my next point, which during this hiatus, I'm going to be around. I'm going to be around in the server much more regularly than I was before. We'll probably do like marathon or movie night or both or some amount of things in that time. I'm moving apartments also, so this is all going to change. And so that's happening. I got to pack in that time, so I don't know how much I'd be on anyways. And then we're going to Anthrocon. Fun fact. Anthrocon 2025 for a week. So I'll be totally gone during that time, too. So the timing all works out. I want to be around. I might work on the Rain World video, depending on like how I feel or how things are going. But no matter what I'm doing, I'm going to do whatever nurtures me the most, right? Whatever guides me to live the most best life. And as I've been digging into this Magic Cube, I'm digging up all kinds of repressed emotions. So that's already had wonderful payoffs. So, yeah, we're going on hiatus. Maybe the last one in a while. We'll see. Like for a while, the last hiatus for a while. There's a good chance that I won't really need one after this because I'm much more settled. Like all the hiatuses up to this point were both from learning streaming and the conflict between immediate productivity and most best life. So I don't know. Maybe I will. I will promise that I'll take whatever hiatuses I need. You know, and I think at the end of the day, that's like the big thing that I always want to promise to you guys, like, is that I will take care of myself. And that's a big thing. I'm not going to burn myself out. I'm not going to get to a point where I'm like, oh, I'm done with streaming. I'm done with you guys. I'm done. Just toss it all to the side. I love this. I love making this content. I love talking to you guys. I love being on stream. And, you know, I've been around for the last 2.5 years, so I'm thoroughly planning on being around for the next 10, just because like this is my thing. I'm always creating stuff if I'm really doing what I want to do, if I'm not repressing myself, which is almost no nights anymore actually, which is pretty cool. And streams and videos and stuff is what I want to create. I know it's always spooky when a creator goes on hiatus. You know, you're always like, oh, are they burning out? Oh, is this a bad thing? You know, I'm not going to see them again. Is this like a hiatus, you know, and then they're just gone and they only stream like once a month? But no, I'm gonna be back. I'll be back the 15th. We have a set date, so the 9th, as midnight, it's technically the 10th of June till the 15th of July, so a little bit over a month. And then we're back. We're gonna kick ass and have a lot of fun. And also, I am going to be playing Rain World. I know. It's important. People really love it. But I do want to give good warning. I'm playing Champions of North first. and I'm playing one campaign at a time. The big thing with Rain World is that I'm figuring out how to stream it, right? Because I've gone at it a couple of different ways, and some streams are really good, and other streams I feel that dissonance. So I might not go all the way through the campaigns at one time as I'm figuring that out. And I will be playing things that nobody wants to see. Nobody cares about. Like, not nobody wants to see, but like specifically stuff that doesn't make sense to watch unless you're watching like the whole thing, which is part of what the video thing is about. Because I've always wanted to get into obscure stuff like Champions of Norath, like Book of Dread, like any of the weird emulator things that I've played, like fucking, what was it? Tonka Space Station. What a ride, right? So any of those games, if you're not there for the stream, then it doesn't make sense to watch, especially if it has to be broken up into multiple streams. Like, I've probably got a couple streams left in Champions of Norath. You'll miss context, and it doesn't feel right to watch because you weren't originally interested in the stream. If you're going to tune into that content, it's going to be to figure out what the thing's about and kind of like engage with the history. And that's something I want to do with a video. It's a much better format to do that in. So I want to take those VODs, compile them together. I want to get my thoughts on it all and the history of it and how it feels and what I'm thinking as I'm playing it, and kind of like cut out some of the slower parts or the dead parts, make, you know, more jokes and things like that. So it's a more consumable, still very long-term video. So it's I don't know, it's like VOD plus enhanced VOD, something like that. It's gonna be right in between those things, like a VOD and a video. That's a much better way to experience it. And then you can pause the video, go do whatever you need to do, come back to it whenever. It's just a better way to consume those types of games. And with Living the Most Best Life, I cannot concern myself with what's popular anymore. I thought about that for a minute, but that's just not... it doesn't make any sense, because the only thing that I'm going to be doing is whatever gets me the most best life, and whether or not that's popular doesn't matter. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Most likely I'm going to be playing a lot of really weird, obscure stuff. I understand if that's not your thing. I appreciate you guys being around, right? If you only want to come around when there's like a specific game, like Rain World or something else, feel free. Totally fine. Don't feel like stuck in this at all. I just want to make a space for people to exist. Just know that that's coming, right? Like that's the direction we're going, is playing more obscure stuff, playing things kind of like all the way through one at a time. It's not always going to be obscure stuff. Some of it's going to be like weird or just like old classics like Fandango. Going back to 7 Days to End With You, that game about translating a language and finishing that. All that stuff. Streaming really has changed my life. You know, as a final wrap up, you can pause the video here if you just want to hear the announcement. This is just going to be purely philosophical and nostalgic ramblings, but I've changed who I am thoroughly several times up till now, and streaming has been the main driving point of all that, because I came on and presented myself and gave a good time to people, and I just couldn't hate myself the way that I felt like I should, the way that I felt like I needed to, because of all that trauma and all that baggage. It's weird to think how much I love it compared to writing and like TTRPGs and all game design, all these things that, you know, I always felt like I really, really loved more than anything else, and it was like nothing was going to get in the way of that. It's not really got in the way, it's just definitely better. Like, very clearly, obviously better, and I enjoy it much more. That's the thing. It's like head and shoulders above everything else. It's so obviously taller. It's weird to compare them. It's okay to compare the other stuff, like writing to game design, but, like, not streaming. Not streaming. And that, pine cones and apples thing, the pine tree and the apple tree thing, something I was realizing today, which... You know, if you have a tree, if you have a sapling, you can just grow it and feed it and nurture it into whatever it is. Or you can be like, I want an apple tree. And then when it's not an apple tree, you graft apple tree limbs into it and you try to trim it down and shape it into an apple tree. And if it's a pear tree, if it's not a pear tree, if it's a pine tree sapling, you're gonna have a terrible time. Even if it is a pear tree sapling, it's not gonna do great. It's still not gonna produce that many apples. And then if you're trying to turn pine cones into a fucking apple, that doesn't work. You don't eat those like an apple. It's not like it's lesser. It's just different. And that's what I mean by, like, you can't choose the content that you're going to create if you're going to give yourself the creative process. If you're going to make the best stuff that you can, because that's going to be the stuff that you would naturally produce. If you're a pine tree, it's going to be pine cones. If you're an apple tree, it's going to be apples. That's your thing. You just kind of have to discover that. You have to feed into yourself enough until you start producing something, until something like comes about. So it can be that way for everyone. I know it's that way for me because I've been making stuff forever and I adore it and it's so deep into my soul I can't even question it. But like that's just the way that people work. If you're an oak tree, you're making, acorns, right? All kinds of stuff. But if you want the best out of it, you just have to you have to love yourself. You have to take care of yourself. You have to feed that sapling as much water and nutrition and fertilizer and whatever else it wants, sun and shade, temperature, humidity. Do all of that. It's going to give you, the best stuff. Do you think it's going to give you anything better if you attack it? That's what we do with ourselves. That's what I did with myself forever. And I was just kind of realizing that today. I was like, damn, it's time to feed into that tree. So what I am demanding, what my soul is demanding right now is making that cube for magic and taking this hiatus and just enjoying my time with you guys. Because that's the other thing, right? Interacting on the server during the hiatus isn't productive, right? So the hiatus in general isn't productive, but it's really good for me. And then when I'm hanging out with you guys, it's not tied to being productive. It's just living the most best life because I enjoy sending messages into the server and I enjoy being around you guys and like having the vibes mix. I enjoy putting on the marathons and stuff. And it's only ever the thoughts of productivity that stop me. And like, especially with like the marathons, I specifically remember being like, well, this isn't gonna be good. This isn't gonna make anything. And stopping myself and being like, why the fuck is that a problem? But like, I couldn't fully remove myself from the idea. So it took me a while to get to the next one, to do it again. And I'm ready to not, I'm happy to not be conflicted like that anymore. Like I'm still tired emotionally. Like I'm still transitioning after the surgery, but that way of living has been cut out of me. I don't have those thoughts without consciously looking for them anymore. I made that final leap after sitting in a parking lot for 3 hours, which is a whole thing. It was voluntary. It was a beautiful little Glen, to be honest. The all this to say, we're going on hiatus till July 15th. I love you guys. Things have been going really, really well. And I'm super excited to see what I make both on hiatus, whatever that comes out to, whether or not that's a forced stream or not, and especially afterwards. I'll have moved, be in the best apartment I've ever been in, with all kinds of excitement. So, kick ass, everybody. I need to sleep, probably. I'm still recovering from that sleep deprivation a little bit. Sleep well. Enjoy your days.